Hello everyone, Brad here with StartRestoringHeadlights.com, and welcome back to another video. I've had this request quite a few times, asking me to do a voiceover on the restoration videos. That way I can kind of get some insight, some tips, and kind of explain exactly what it is that I'm doing. So this particular customer was actually out of town. They were up north, so they just texted me and asked me if I can do it. Vehicle was parked in the garage or the driveway, and I just sent them a payment link when I was complete. I sent the before and afters. So very, very important. Anytime you have this kind of scenario when the customer is not there or no one's going to be there, it's very, very important to take your videos and your pictures before you even touch the vehicle. Because obviously if you do have any issues or anything, any pre-existing damage to the bumper or fender or hood, there's no one to kind of show that to. So it's important to make sure that you get those pictures and some video beforehand. So I did want to also explain that because a lot of people ask what grit sandpaper I use. In the past videos, this video and future videos, you'll see the yellow sandpaper that I use is the 400 grit sandpaper, and then the black sandpaper I use is the 600 grit. So usually you'll see me start with the 400 and then finish with the 600. That's because the 400 takes the oxidation and the scratches off very, very quickly. It cuts the job down maybe 2 or 3 minutes per headlight. So if I want to get in and out, I'll just hit it with the 400 really fast to get everything off and then do the 600. You don't necessarily have to do that as well. You could just hit it with the 600 on most jobs. This vehicle didn't have any excessive micro cracking or bad corrosion or anything, or it was just the old clear coat, that yellow haziness. So those ones I've said previously are kind of like the bread and butter of the business. It's very, very easy to do. Those jobs are very quick. So as you saw, I completely sanded it off, or completely sanding it off, all the oxidation and everything. I'll use a lint-free towel to clean any of the water or anything off of the lens. And once it's a little bit dry, I'll go ahead and spray some rubbing alcohol onto a microfiber towel and then clean it of any of that residue. So you can see, so after I hit it with the 400, you can see I'm hitting it with the 400 here. Once I'm complete with that and I see that all the oxidation and old clear coat is off, I'll do the 600, and you can see there's not nearly as much of that white oxidation coming off. You can see right there, I'm hitting it with the 600 right then and there. And I'm constantly spraying so that I can kind of see exactly where I need to keep sanding, and also remove any of the old oxidation and everything off. That way I get a very thorough sanding process, and it gives you like the best kind of result when it comes to spraying. So here I'm wiping it clean with the alcohol, and you can see it dries very, very fast. And then I will go ahead and clean the vehicle. It's important to clean the vehicle after you clean off the lens. That way, after you spray it, you're not taking a microfiber and cleaning off the bumper or anything. That way you don't take the chance of getting any water or accidentally brushing up against the lens after you spray it. So it's important to do the complete sanding process, dry it, clean up the bumper and fender and everything, and then start masking it off. That way you don't cause any issues after you spray it. So you can see I'm just using regular masking paper, very, very easy. It was a little bit windy that day, and I remember it was pretty cold. My pretty cold is maybe about 60 degrees. Some people might be a whole lot more, but it was a little bit windy, nothing too dramatic. And see, there's the rubbing alcohol. I'm getting it nice and clean, so that's getting any of the oils from my hands, any old residue or any dirt on the lens, getting that off. Because it's important that you do that, because if you ever have situations where you have to go back and redo a lens and you see some like flaking, it might be because the lens wasn't 100% clean when you originally sprayed it. There has to be nothing between the clear coat and the lens whenever you spray it, otherwise you can have some small issues. And whenever you do spray it, it's important to look at it at 4 or 5 different angles to make sure that there's no spots that you'd missed. and you always want to make sure that you're going with the contour of the lens and not just straight left and right. Always try to go to with the curvature of the lens. And that's pretty much it. So we hit it with the 400, got it nice and smooth with the 600, cleaned it up, masked it off, and applied the clear coat. As I said before, the customer wasn't home, so the vehicle was just going to sit there, so it was good to go. I typically do my jobs in the morning, so I didn't really have to use a UV wand or anything, because it was going to get more than enough sunlight throughout that day, and it wasn't going to move or anything. So another good tip, whenever you are finished removing the tape and everything, always make sure you go back with a microfiber and clean along the lens where the tape had gone, because you could have a little bit of residue on there, sticky residue from it. But other than that, this one came out great. You can pick up the kits at startrestoringheadlights.com if you want to start a business. It's a great way to make some side income and even potentially a new career start. Thanks for watching.